we talked about cheat codes, do this, do that, but sometimes cheat codes can just come in the form of listening.
Yeah.
To the wisdom that is out there. So anyway, that's the point, is there's a lot of cheat codes in all of that to really harness. But here's the thing is, we can give you cheat codes, but unless you're listening or searching for them, you're never going to find them.
Yep.
And this is what, after so many years of conversations with you and just other people, I'm finding out more and more every day as the veil gets lifted along this journey, is that I might have not done enough listening. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. If this is your first time here, you're about to witness the best podcast you've never heard before in your life. We are Old Guys Still Rock. I am Blair Armstrong of Team Armstrong Coldwell Banker. I am a global luxury specialist in the world of residential real estate that have tasted all factors of life. And on my right, possibly your left, depending on how this edit comes out, is a good friend and co-host of this show, Brent Wright of Brent Wright Incorporated. And again, if you've heard this show or not heard this show before, but if you haven't, Brent wears many different hats over the course of time that I've known him for almost those 30 years. Detail shops, body shops. His wife and him just opened up a wellness center. Brent has bought, sold, rented property, is also very good at, he is in the payroll business as well. So I said many different hats, right? So far, there's one more that is starting to come to fruition that he's been working on for years and years and years. This is his spots in business. He is now starting a coaching business for not only business in itself, if you're struggling to try to get to the next level or feel like you've got a roadblock and you can't get through it, Brent's a good person to talk to. If you're struggling in life in general, Brent has also tasted many different factors of life, so also a good sounding board. So you're like, yeah, I hear that a lot. Well, we've got 87 different episodes for you to go and check us out, see if we're a fit for you. And again, if this is your first episode, definitely go back to episode 1 and kind of work yourself up at your pace. A lot of you guys that watch this binge Netflix or binge Apple TV, we want you to binge us. We think that we have a lot of golden nuggets out here. We say that because that's the type of feedback that we get. We may not see a lot of comments on our YouTube page or our Spotify page, but we do get a lot of vocal comments. Brent is in Eugene. I'm in Palm Desert, California. And are those groups that come around and say, we love what you're doing. Keep doing it. So again, if you haven't watched this before, go check us out for 87 episodes and let us know what your thoughts are. Boy, that was a soapbox. How are you, dude?
Good.
What's going on?
So this is 88, right?
This is 88, homie.
Holy smokes. Feeling highly favored and blessed, as our care pastor says at church. So
yeah, I'm jacked this morning, so I go off the rails today. You're gonna have to reel me back in this morning.
I'm needing a little energy, so I got a little
screaming freedom, dude.
Screaming freedom, yeah.
Oh, I love that one. That's a good one. I'm a little stuck in orange right now.
Yeah.
But screaming freedom is my second. The lemon lime's okay. The one thing that I do not like is the berry. Not a big fan of the berry. I don't know if you've had that one yet.
That one's really sweet. So we stock all of them at the wellness center.
Yeah. You guys don't know what you want to show that can again, dude.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know about this First Form energy drink, and I will say this, obviously with Red Bulls out there, the Monsters and stuff like that, I strongly encourage you to actually go onto the First Form website and check out the ingredients in there. It's probably one of the cleanest energy drinks that I know of.
Yep.
It's the caffeine comes from green tea. There's not a lot of ingredients in it, and they taste pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had one yet. Thank God. If I had one, I probably would have. It probably would have just been the Blair Armstrong show today. So,
yeah. Did you have you seen Sean Whalen's new one? It's called Liberal Tears.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
It looks like the Screaming Freedom can, but a little more busy, and it's called Liberal Tears. I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see.
Yeah. I love it, man. I just feel like there's a great opportunity in business right now to really take advantage, especially what First Form and Sean Whalen are doing. All their products are being made in America. I'm digging that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Did you see Anheuser-Busch said the other day that they're not going to call themselves a domestic beer anymore? They're going to call themselves an American beer.
Wow. They've done a lot of cleanup, man. It's been pretty impressive to see kind of where they went a couple of years ago with the ad faux pas. And I know that there's both sides of the story to that, but realistically, that put a big dent in them for almost a year. But they've done a really, really good job recovering to get that back up there to where it's not it's okay to order a Bud Light again and not get heckled.
Well, this is year number 8 for me. I'm just getting ready to start in about a month and a half. Year number 8 of no alcohol for me.
That's so good, dude. Not me, homie. I did 75 hard. I did live hard. I did that program. It's not that I don't know. It's just not where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you've done it. You've kind of in certain situations you might have been forced in there. So again, if you kind of want to know a little bit of background, there's some great episodes back there will kind of unpeel the onion of who we are. So let's be old guys for a second. How's the weather in Eugene? I checked it out this morning. It didn't look fun.
So we're in this hole. Everywhere around us is a winter wonderland. But I mean, we're cold. We're like 32, 33, 34 degrees right now. But there's no snow. We're getting a little bit of flurries every once in a while, yesterday and today, overnight, but it's not sticking. It's not staying. It's not anything. They keep calling for it. They keep calling for it and saying it's going to be 3 to 5 inches in the valley, like everywhere else. Like Medford is shut down.
That's crazy, man.
Shut down, completely shut down. That we got snow at our coast house a couple days ago
on the beach.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but nothing here in Eugene that's sticking or hanging around. So it's actually we're sadly, because I think a lot of people are wanting the snow days. My kids in particular. It was snowing the other morning, and they're like, we get to stay home, and here they go off to school because there's no snow. So.
Well, we have a mutual friend in Tara Schmeling. She was a little geeked out because she started snowing and she thought she was going to get a snow day. So sorry,
everybody
Tara.
thought about that.
It's always been that way though, right? It's just like, okay, it's snowing. It's like dumping in Portland. It's dumping in Salem. And you kind of get some stuff out in Cottage Grove. And for whatever reason, it just sits high enough.
Well, we're in this bowl,
right? And it kind of like that. I don't know if that. Usually when you're in a bowl, things get sucked in. Like it gets colder in there, but for whatever reason, that's it. So
yeah, it's cold, but it's definitely, definitely workable here compared to everywhere else in the state.
Wow.
There are people that drove up from Roseburg yesterday that took them like 3 hours.
Oh.
Clients of ours. So.
Oh. Sorry that you have to deal with that. I was sweating yesterday. It was 83 degrees. It has two difference. Obviously, you talked about the El Nino and how they were. And I don't know which one is which, whatever.
Right.
We're definitely in that dry season, and we had 5 days of winter. That's it. Our winter is literally over, which is sad. Because I was stoked because we kind of got in the low 60s for a bit, a couple mornings of 50, the 50s. But now we're 75 to 85 every day from here on out. So here we go. Strap in.
Crazy.
Okay. Enough of old guys.
Yeah.
Enough of old guys in the weather. How's biz? Are you feeling, before we get into the topic of which, by the way, guys, today we're going to talk about cheat codes. So, hold on a second. Get a notepad ready. I think we're going to have some good golden nuggets in there. But I always like to, over the last couple of weeks, I've been really asking entrepreneurs, like, what's the vibe? I know there's been a lot of changes or feel like there's a lot of changes coming. how's business for you? Are you still feeling like we're not there yet? I feel like we're starting to burst. Where you're at right now in all of your businesses?
Yeah, so cautiously optimistic. Okay. So I say cautiously optimistic, meaning people are still being emotional. Money is starting to flow and
Mm-hmm.
things are starting to break, but people are being very frugal, for lack of a better word. Normally, people that would come in here and just, doesn't matter, whatever it costs, just do it. Don't care. How much does that cost? What are my extras? What are my options? What can I delete from the bill to get it less? Yeah, people with normally what I would call like FU money are asking the questions about what are things costing? How do I drop the bill down? How do I get this accomplished without paying this? And it's an odd time. We see people that are normally doing that cautiously optimistic stuff are oddly getting their tax returns back and things like that, and are just dropping drunken sailor money, and spending, like they've got plenty of money in the bank and everything's good. Oddly enough, for the first time ever, I've got a couple of rentals open, and it's been longer than 3 days. Usually I get a rental, I get it flipped, it's clean, it's ready to go. I throw it on Zillow, throw it on Facebook, and 3 days it's rented. It's not the case. I'm on day 18 right now on 2 of them.
Yeah, that's probably a rabbit hole we could go down for a little bit, and I don't want to get sidetracked of what we're going to be on. I kind of feel the same thing. We used to have some investors that are like, we're out, we're done. It's not producing as much as we want to with our short-term rentals. And here's my thought. Again, these are just thoughts. So if you have a different thought or comment, not only Brent, but if you're watching this and you have a different thought or comment, please put those in comments. We're open to those. Share those. That's a reason why we have comments, to help other people get better, to have a forum, to share some sort of community. But I feel like there's been a lot. I would just say this: the new administration has kind of like seek and destroy in a roundabout way. Some good, some bad, maybe. There's just been a lot of change quickly, and I just, for being so many years on, hey, everything's the same, which we kind of talked about last week, right? Everything the same. Why change? I dripped on myself. I just noticed that. So sorry.
Consistently, consistency might be holding you back.
Right. So anyway, with that being said, we've been used to the status quo for such a long time. And now there's a bunch of changes, and there's some cleanup and stuff that may be necessary in some people's eyes, and maybe just too much for other people's eyes. But I think that has people like, wow, this is a lot. I better like hold on before, until things iron out.
Yeah. Like I said, I think people are just cautiously optimistic. So,
okay. So
cheat codes for success today.
Cheat codes for success. Cheat code number 1: learn how to drink. Right here, so you don't have this blue mark that I'm sure this. Now that I point it,
it looks like a shadow from your mic. You're good, buddy. Good. Yeah, you're fine.
My OCD's kicking in. I'm like, God darn it.
Yeah.
So cheat codes. We've talked about this many times before, and here's my thought. We talked about this a little bit beforehand. We talked about, you have cheat codes, I have cheat codes, things to basically eliminate hurdles in business or life or relationships, to make the road smoother. Even though the road's going to be bumpy, a cheat code may help you, like when you're on a roadblock, what you're just talking about, which you're really good at, helping other people in business. Like, hey, I'm having this roadblock. Okay, here's a cheat code from Brent. All right, try it out. Here's the thing that I have to ask, though, because we've talked about this a couple times. We can give people cheat codes, and help them become better, faster, stronger, like Steve Austin.
Yeah.
But if you're not,
that's the Bionic Man for you people that have never watched the Bionic Man from the 70s, by the way.
This old guy still rock. If you haven't watched the Bionic Man, come on, man. Did you ever? It doesn't matter. Never mind. I was going to go down like the Steve Austin doll. He could roll up his arm and see the bionics, and you could look through his eye, and it was like a magnifying glass. Anyway, here's the thing: is I feel like we've given people cheat codes, and not everybody, but there's some people that like cool, and never take advantage of them or don't listen for them. What are your thoughts? And I have this is a two-part question, so I'll start with that. So, how do we help or assist in people listening for cheat codes?
So no different than the age-old adage, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? So I can give you all the cheat codes for everything. But if you don't apply them, the biggest cheat code ever is application of an action. That is the biggest cheat code of all. And do it exponentially faster than everybody else. If you're going to make mistakes, make them faster than everybody else. If you're going to make successes, make it faster than everybody else. If that's how you want to win in your silo or in your industry or in your vertical, all of those other, acronyms for in your genre, again, another acronym. The best way is to move at speed greater than everybody else.
When you get cheat codes, I continue this. So I'm going to pepper you with questions I feel right now.
Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah. So yes, application's the big deal for that, right? But then we have as men, and maybe there's women that are in there like, yeah, I know. But should we ever be done winning? Does that make sense?
No, the day you stop winning, the day you stop learning, you should probably check yourself because you're going to get hit by a bus. It's probably your last day.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that Tony Robbins, the Ed Milet's, the Andy Frisella's, Sean Whalen's, I mean, the list goes on, right? Those guys still use cheat codes.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we get lost like, oh my gosh, those guys are super successful. And they give us the cheat codes. But such a rare few of us use those cheat codes. Like it's almost, we'll never be their level. Well, how do you know though? So I have that problem.
Yeah. So no different. So how many times have you and I talked about IAMs? Did you do them? Did you do them this morning?
Yep.
You did? Good job.
God, dude, I'm spilling all over myself. I'm stopping drinking.
It'll grow back.
Because journaling, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago, has really helped me focus on what's going on,
right?
From the previous day. So I journal kind of what happened the day before, and so when I go back tomorrow and journal, I'm going to read what happened basically yesterday, because it's setting triggers in my mind.
Yeah. And also could be negative triggers too. So if you're really focused on writing the negative things that happened the day before, then you're just bringing negativity in your life. That's a cheat code. So instead of thinking about what went wrong and what could go wrong and what will go wrong in your mind, you're just setting yourself up for what's going to go wrong.
Yes and no. I'm going to debate that for a second.
So if you're dumping if you're downloading and dumping your day at night before you go to sleep, then you are pre-programming, no different than what Tony Robbins does. He's reprogramming and pre-programming you. So neuro-linguistic programming. He does NLP programming is what he does. That's his shtick. So if you're doing it at night, I would caution you until you stop doing it at night. do it the next morning.
I do all the time in the morning. First thing.
And then write down what went bad yesterday,
mm-hmm.
what went good yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to go well today.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you get the negative out first.
Mm-hmm.
You get 2 positive things, and that kind of sets yourself up for what's going to go well today, and you're not focused on the negative stuff.
Perfect. So yeah, we're on the same page, different words, but same page.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going back to it's not, I don't really have any negative thing to say. It's just stuff that, so we talked a little bit about this beforehand too, is journaling and reading over the last couple of weeks, really since January 1st, and a lot over the last 2 weeks, has really kind of just, I feel like there's a new veil that's been lifted. It just, there's different parts of your life. There's a new veil and there's more clarity. And it's really like, hey, meaning is, here's a cheat code. Meaning is, if I don't think, for me right now, and this may help some of you guys that are watching this, me not journaling, I would have missed the wisdom in that day.
Correct.
And that is the thing. Like, I go back and read it. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's going to be a positive trigger. It's not a negative trigger. It's a positive trigger. When you're in this moment, remember to do this. Got it. Because now I'm writing it out, right? It's setting stuff in my mind, which we've had great coaches over the last couple of years to really kind of set that, write it out, kind of set it in your mind. What's that trigger? I missed this. Is something as so dumb as being on the golf course. I've had some amazing experiences that are life altering in a positive way, that because me journaling has changed my focus to be focused on the moment, not the outcome.
Correct. Yep. And so, a lot of folks, when you're doing your journaling or when you're doing your IMs or you're doing your evaluation of the day, will get sucked into the details of, because it's super easy to get sucked into the negativity. What went bad? How do I fix it next time? And then your brain just automatically starts programming your body to focus on negative things. So when you go into a situation, it's like, well, this is bad. This is what's bad that's going to happen. And so what you don't want to do is you want to get that out of and away from yourself as fast as possible. So no different than you step in a pile of dog poo. What's the first thing you want to do? You want to get it off your shoe right now, right? You don't let it linger because it's just going to smell all day. No, that's the same thing as negativity. You get it away from you as fast as possible. You clean the poo off your shoe and stop smelling it and move on.
I want to stay in that moment because you posted something the other day and I screenshotted it because I think it was relevant to today. So, you'll learn how to type here.
Thanks for the like and share and follow, buddy.
So Brent Wright Incorporated, just get on there real quick. Let me get this up. Anyway, I think that there's just a lot of stuff that we can go back and unveil. There's that.
Well, while you're doing that, the biggest cheat code that comes to mind is just doing the work. It's the action. It's doing the reps. It's, Kobe Bryant talked about, and I think maybe even Shaq said this quote as well. I'm not a big sports fan, so, forgive me for my faux pas there on who said it, but you guys could probably Google it and look it up. But I'm not afraid of a guy who's made 1,000 shots. I'm afraid of a guy who's made 10,000 shots. Right?
So Yes. So stay with that, right?
It's to make 10,000 shots and did the practice, did the work, did the reps, right? And it's not how many successes he had, it's how many failures he had that he learned from.
And that goes with this.
Okay.
Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us.
Yep. Amen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 words. And how long could we sit there and talk about that? And just really unpeel the back. And then, and it's this way for everybody, right? We can kind of get caught in the moment, especially with kind of the temperature they're going on now. This is a cheat code. So let's go back. I'm going to say this. This is a cheat code. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Brett was very transparent in it. This is a tough one for me. Doing better at it, but still a daily struggle, trying to make a damn difference. So again, you guys who have not been here before, and this is your first time looking, or maybe someone shared the show with you, that's kind of who Brent and I are. This is a process of life that we are going through. We're giving you cheat codes. That was just one of them right there. Because if you, and again, struggle for the both of us, I think that we kind of get locked in the moment, especially when we get frustrated that why are we progressing and everyone else is happy? Sometimes I'm just saying this is our perception. And that's the worst thing to have once in a while. We get frustrated because it seems like everyone is not doing anything to get to the next level. And we're freaking fighting our bloody knuckle fighting in a visual way to get to the next level, to become better, to become a better leader, to become a better business owner, to become a better husband, a father, so on and so forth. And when we see guys sitting in the steering wheel, it gets us frustrated. That's forgive us our trespasses.
Right.
Just because it's our path, right, doesn't mean it's their path right now.
Well, part of this is understanding, and I was talking with Kyle Vanderlinden about this, is that if you are trying to do better every day, if you're trying to make a damn difference, if you're trying to grow and prosper, you are truly the 1% of the 1%. There's virtually not a lot of people that are taking a similar path or even trying as hard as you are to get better. How many people read 10 pages a night after 75 hard's over? For years. Most people do a program and they quit and they move on. Right? And so here we are, Kyle does his consistent workout in the morning, does his sauna time, does his stuff. You do your meditation, you do your thing. I do my process in the morning. I do my process in the evening. How many people, do that? If you went to one of your dinner parties at 4:00 because you're in old people land.
It's true though.
Right?
You're right.
How many people in there are going to talk to you about, man, it was so good. I did my workout this morning and I did this and I ate my stuff and I did my things and I had my smoothie and how many people are you going to hear from?
No.
That are in that? Maybe one? Maybe. Probably not even one, right?
No.
So you are truly the 1% of the 1%ers while you're doing this. And then the reason why I posted that is because if you're not taking the cheat codes or following the rules or following the suggestions, you're losing the game 100%. So here I am driving down the road talking to Kyle about being a 1% of a 1%. Some guy brake checks me, flips me off in his rearview mirror, and I want to yell and scream and cuss and holler at him, right? Because I'm human. And I'm thinking, he just trespassed against me. Why am I not forgiving him for his trespasses? Why am I allowing him to get as my wife says all the time, why are you allowing him to rent space in your head for free? You don't let anybody else rent your house for free. I have a whole plethora of situations over the last 2 months where, because I am trying to move the needle so hard, I have been trespassed against a lot. And it's very easy to take a victim mindset. especially if you're journaling, especially if you're meditating, especially if you are doing your IMs, especially if you are trying to do all those things. It's really super easy to get sucked into the negative space that is allowing other people to rent space in your head for free.
How relevant is that with today's temperature?
It's so relevant.
So, right.
Yeah.
And that's why I go back to, that's why I found that what you posted the other day and we came up with that topic today, or you came up with the topic today. Boy, oh boy, what a cheat code that is. Because we're going to let a post, stupid article,
interview on
news, on whatever channel you're at,
yeah,
going to spin somebody out of control, and it's going to be their temperature for the rest of the day, week, month, life. So how do you, and that's, and I'm like, I'm grateful for you for the conversations that we've had over 87 different episodes and the 1,000 conversations we've had beforehand, because this has been a process, right? And that's one thing that I'm learning about too right now at the ripe age of 56, that it's not about the goal. It's about being it's enjoying the process. So every day is a new process, which I'm starting to come. Some of you guys may be way beyond that who are watching this and to get it, but focusing on today, how am I, like super grateful for the four agreements, really unveiled a lot of stuff in their part. So, but to have that, and they're like, okay, we can do all the reading, we can do all this and do that stuff, but that little cheat code right there, forgive my trespasses as I forgive those who trespass against us, is almost everything.
Yeah.
If not everything.
Yep. Well, everybody's always trying to find the easy way, right? It's just, and then once you find the easy way, if you happen to find the easy way, you then question it and say, well, it was easy for him or it was easy for her. It doesn't seem that easy for me because I'm having to do the work. Yes, you have to do the work.
But I'm going to use two examples of process and cheat codes, and maybe the people can apply this to life. I'm applying it to certain parts of our business. Someone brings you a car to Body Works, right? And they give it to you and it's got some dings and blah, 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 or it's been in a bad accident, and they see it. Then they come by a week, 2 weeks later, depending on what it is. It could be longer, just using that example, whatever. And it comes out all shiny and new.
Yep.
No one understands the process.
Correct.
That car went through, that you went through, employees, missing paint, can't get a part, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on. And this applies to everyone's business. Yeah. I am in the same sense. We're dealing with a situation right now with a house. It's an HOA, and there's parameters that we have to follow. And there's conversations that I'm having with multiple people to get this process done with the end goal of it to satisfy my client, who is, yes, they're paying money for a product, but there's a lot of moving pieces that have to come together to make this happen. Yeah. And I got a message from someone today, like, hey, they really want this house. I'm like, how is it? No-ish, which make that whatever you want to make it is. I'm not going to swear. And I explained to I explained to what has to happen and how I have to maneuver this situation, knowing that I want them to have this property as much as they want to have this property. And I will share that story with them, God willing, that we get to get the outcome that we want to. Because there's a lot of people, and again, this was way with every business, and I get this, but I'm talking about cheat codes when we don't use them the right way or don't enjoy the process for today. There's a lot of things that people don't see that we have to do to make sure that at the end of the day, they come out better than when they first saw us?
Well, everybody looks at the result, but nobody ever understands or wants to understand or takes the time to understand the process.
Mm-hmm.
There's no luck. You are betting against the house every day. And if anybody knows anything about gambling, when you bet against the house, you typically lose. Every once in a while, you get lucky, but then luck will abandon you. Luck is a fickle mistress. I'm telling you 100%. And so is
For sure.
So is life in general. But you have to go about everything with good character, good intentions, and good actions to get good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck just doesn't show up. It shows up because you had good character. It shows up because you had good actions and good intentions.
And maybe we answered this back, and if we have, I want to go back and clarify this. Should we ever be done getting cheat codes?
No. Keep applying to see what works for you. Take everything from everybody else that you can and test it. It's no different than marketing. Mm-hmm. And in one of my verticals that I coach in and do consulting in, it's all about the testing. When a client comes to us and says, I want to do some marketing, I have X dollars and I want to make $1 million. Everybody wants to make $1 million, right? Everybody wants to be successful. Perfect. Well, we don't know what's going to work because the algorithm's changing on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter or X or LinkedIn. The algorithm has changed so much on LinkedIn that results are down over 80%. So now you got to figure out what the cheat code is to get that algorithm back. But nobody wants to do the reps to do it. Nobody wants to spend the money to do it. So I want LinkedIn to produce a result of this. Perfect. Well, we got to try these 5 things or these 6 things to see which one's going to work, because there's no roadmap to go from here to $1 million.
No.
There's no roadmap to success. For you, it might be different than my roadmap. It's not as simple as grabbing a map and figuring out how to drive to LA.
Right.
No different than your kids. Anybody who's ever been around kids or had kids, they don't come with a manual. The only cheat code is to keep trying and survive the experience. Life is about survival. That's your cheat code.
Absolutely. So, okay. Some people have 10 cheat codes. Some people have 1 million cheat codes. What am I supposed to do with these cheat codes once I've figured it out?
Apply, evaluate, redeploy, or re-execute. And keep trying it until something actually works. And you have to not do it half-assed. You have to go at it 150% and expect nothing in return, and be happy if you do happen to get a return on your investment.
If I'm in the same, well, obviously this is going to be different from relationships. Let's talk about business.
Okay.
If I have a cheat code and I have a friend or a colleague or someone that I know that's in the same business, should I share my cheat codes?
Yes. Share and share alike, because you want them to share theirs. It's quid pro quo.
Right. And I know that you would say that's why I asked you, because I know who your coaches are and how you get better and how you coach. And so that was something that I think needed to be said, because in this competitive world, people are like, oh, hell no.
No,
And I get
I
that
want
one.
to lift others up around me. Like there'd be nothing better than me being surrounded by 3 or 4 other successful body shop owners or three or
Right.
four other successful payroll companies or otherwise, right? There are things that I'm doing currently and have been doing for years that the big boys, the big boxes are just now starting to do because they understand and realize
Mm.
that the value add in that action that they've been missing is where they're falling behind.
Yeah. And I think that's that's a big one in a very competitive world. Um, you want to try to keep your secrets, but I think you just said something right now is when you share those, they're not only going to help others around you get better, it solidifies your place in the marketplace.
It's a leader mindset.
Absolutely, right? Servant leader, right?
Yep.
And the more people that elevate their game, which is really weird to kind of think about it, but the more people that elevate their industry and take others with them, the better your business will do, regardless if you're in the same company. Like, our thing is, and we've got a long ways to go, but one of the reasons why I started a team is to help others elevate and hopefully one day be better than me. I honestly hope that David is going to be better than me
Yeah.
one day. Because there's a ripple effect that I may never see, but it's a cheat code that I'm constantly fine tuning to not only instill in him, but at the same time, like, okay, that cheat code didn't work. How do we make this better? Let's go here.
Yeah.
Starting to see a little bit more fruit from that, but that is the main reasons why we started Team Armstrong on the world of real estate. It just felt like there was a lot of philandering realtors, even though successful, could be a lot better and could hold the profession at a different level of of greatness, and not like, well, everyone's a realtor or everyone's an insurance agent or everyone owns a body shop, whatever, right? Is that there's a certain amount of professionalism that is not seen because of the perception
Mm-hmm.
of what that business may be. And when you start elevating and hold people to a different standard and have expectations of not only clients but yourself, that changes the game for everyone.
This seems kind of like an odd place to go, but there are messages all around us,
Mm-hmm.
and we choose to drive past these billboards on the road and not pay attention to them. One of the biggest things that I got out of uh, the movie with Ricky Bobby,
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights. One of the biggest lessons I got out of that is Gerard, the guy, the French guy. He was at the top of his game, and he was pushing Ricky Bobby to level up so that way he had somebody to compete with. Do you want to be the only one at the top? That's not winning. Or do you want to have somebody to compete with on a consistent and regular basis to push you, to drive you to a better place every time that you compete with them? The best thing you can do is seek out competition, competent competition that will help you to elevate your game to become better. That is one of the biggest cheat codes ever.
That was a good end. That was a good end. So we have competition, good cheat code.
Yep.
For those of you who have faith, I think there's 1,000,001 cheat codes in biblical scripture.
Yep.
For those of you who want to delve into that, even if you don't have faith into that or read the Bible, Proverbs is a great start. There's a ton of cheat codes in there.
31 of them.
31 of them. Read them one every day and then start again on Monday on the 1st. And I just think, and listening. Actually, you said that at the end. So you had Ricky Bobby competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the forgive us our trespasses. That's another cheat code. As we went biblical there. I think and action is another one. And I think that, which we kind of talked all around it, but you really gave a great visual at the end. There are signs that we constantly drive past every day, that no matter, and have like the ultimate cheat code, until you open your eyes or listen for that wisdom, you're never going to get it.
Well, and create action based upon speed. You have to create action based around speed. Bottom line.
A lot of good stuff, guys. And, and I think here's a bigger one as we finish this up. Today was a really, really good episode. So I hope that you listened to it. I know a lot of you guys listen to us on the treadmill or on a walk or whatever, on a hike. And I love that. We give you 45 minutes. Really, that all started from for April, right? But it is now mushroomed into a lot of others. So April, thank you for that.
Pushing us to grow,
right? And so here's the thing is, you guys that are watching this this week, next week, or a year from now, or whatever, and this year, whenever you pick this up, you're a cheat code to someone that is looking for a cheat code.
Yeah.
And if you're like, what do you mean? Go back and watch the episode and figure out how you're the cheat code. And your cheat code for us, the cheat code that you can give us, is to go out and share, to be that cheat code and share the show with somebody else and help them become a cheat code, and use one or two or three of these points, or fine tune one or two or three of these points that we gave you today. And again, is be that ultimate cheat code for someone that may have a roadblock in a relationship with their spouse, their girlfriend, their boyfriend, kids, or in business. So
hang out with accelerators. Like for me, the Vanderlindens are accelerators for me. Hopefully I'm accelerators for them.
Yeah. I don't think he would be hanging around you if you weren't.
I know.
Yeah, this is awesome, dude. There's some good issues today. So final thoughts for you, my dude.
As always, go make a damn difference and forgive those who trespass against you. Big one for me.
I got nothing. Well, just because you might need the last 4 or 5 minutes with you, dude, it has been freaking a great wrap up. So anyway, guys, we want to thank you so much for your continued support, our always growing subscribers. As I said to you, go be a cheat code this week. But most of all, guys, stay safe. God bless. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.